For the record, though, I drink. I don't drink. And we're live, by the way. I don't drink caffeinated coffee.
Really?
No, because I wake up. I wake up on fire.
Yeah,
like I,
on fire.
like so
Yeah.
when I wake up, it's like I'm already bouncing up the walls the second I wake up.
Yep.
So it's like if I drink caffeinated anything, I'm gonna scare people.
You'd be over the top, huh?
People would be afraid. Like I would be like,
Yeah.
they were like, "What the hell is he on?" so,
I hear
so,
you.
so I'm
Yeah.
good. Like I've never had a problem with like energy or
Yeah.
that needed to be picked up or anything like that. If anything, I gotta kind of try to control it and kind of minimize it.
Mm.
So, but yeah, so that's kind of how I am. But I have no problem going to get a decaf latte though, just for
Okay.
just for the taste of it, you know.
Yeah. No, I got to have at least a couple cups in the morning just to,
A couple of cups.
oh, at least. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. That's hilarious. So yeah, and then
Yeah.
my Knicks are winning, so I'm excited. Like we know the Knicks haven't won. Embarrassingly enough, the Knicks haven't won since 1972. That's
Probably
pretty.
since what?
I mean,
Dave DeBuscher was there then, right?
I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know. I wasn't old enough to really know. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you this. Um, New York is excited. My mom's excited. Like everybody's like, there's an energy in New York, and we needed this.
Yeah.
Whether we win it or not, right? We needed this. New York needed it. We need this.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, it's exciting times. And I don't know if you know the story, but Jalen Brunson, the star player for the Knicks, there's a lot of little, small little stories, subplots. And this is not a basketball. This is not a basketball podcast, but it is a sports podcast. And
Yeah.
he took a $113 million pay cut
Really?
to open up the salary cap to allow the Knicks to bring in the right players
Oh, no kidding.
so that
Wow.
they can get this done. And then not and on top of that, two of his teammates on the Knicks, the three of these guys, played together at Villanova and won a natty together at Villanova.
Really?
So there's something to be said about culture and winning and the amount of reps you've had with people to your left and right and
When
behind you
when
and in
did
front of you. Culture.
When did Villanova win a national championship?
They, Villanova's been a better basketball powerhouse for ever.
Well,
But I mean,
yeah.
I don't know all the. This is the things that I've read. I can't give you all that data.
Yeah.
But I'll probably when I got some time later on, maybe I'll look it up. But you know, and I'm wondering, like in fast pitch softball, shout to Alabama because you know why? You know why I'm shouting out Alabama? They had three people on their staff, other than Murph. Murph would make four who have won a natty.
Oh, are you talking about
Al-
Alabama?
Alabama softball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Murphy. Yeah.
they had four coaches total on that coaching staff who have won that who was a part of that 2012 championship team. I'm gonna say this: Alabama did not have the most talented players. They're not gonna have all the All Americans and all the people with the 30 home runs and all that stuff and all the 500 hitters. But guess what they're gonna bring? Smart, intelligent team softball with players who really want to be at Alabama who probably don't want to go anywhere and who are probably on the field. Wait a minute, they're probably on the field during the postseason, not thinking about which team they already know they're going to go to while they're playing in the postseason.
Yeah.
I guarantee you
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and
Um,
that's something that
I
I
will tell you
appreciate that.
this.
Is what I'm about to say. I appreciate that.
I spoke with a P4 Division One head coach the other day, and that person told me about how rampant it is with the, let's call it the backdoor portal stuff going on where a kid's travel ball coach gets contacted, and then the travel ball coach contacts the kid, and all of a sudden the kid knows that they've got, you know, substantial amount of money waiting for them if they should choose to go in the portal and get picked up. And it's to me, it's really
Tampering,
depressing.
tampering,
I hate it.
tampering.
Uh,
Well, can I say this too? Let me say
yeah.
this because I want to go back to this in a different context. But let's visit this in the context of the transfer portal and the escalation of transfer opportunities. And I'm not knocking transferring. Heck, I played baseball in college. I also transferred. But I
Okay.
transferred. I transferred after my first semester at a school that I never even visited. So I
Gotcha.
was like, I knew the first day of school. I was like, I'm out of here. This is crazy. We didn't even have radio. We were in the mountains. I mean, I can't get the radio station. Like, what? So anyway,
Didn't have a radio station. You
I
didn't
mean,
do your homework
I was
very well.
nah. Back then, back then it was a little different. But um, what I would say is I've gotten some calls too, as well as you, and it's I understand why coaches have to do it because it's already being done to them, and if they don't do it, if they don't get a jump start on who's looking to transfer, to find out who's looking to transfer, they're going to be behind in the transfer game. They're going to be behind in the portal game. Now, the culture that has graduated, college softball is made up of who? Travel ball players, right? You go
Right?
from travel ball to college. So when those travel ball players get to college, they're still the same people they were in travel ball. And a lot of them in travel ball were tampered with. People are going into their DMs.
Oh,
Hey,
I see. Yeah.
if you're
Hey,
not
come on over.
happy,
Come
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 on
on.
over
Come
to
over to
here.
my come over to my
Right. You don't
organization.
have to
Right?
pay as much money. We'll do this,
Yeah.
And there's a strong, just astronomical amounts of money being paid to players and families in travel ball that we don't know about. So it's the same people. They're just playing at the next level of you're recruiting the same people. You're recruiting here's what I call them.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
recruiting the levers. You're recruiting levers. These are
I
the
got
levers that you took you brought levers. And then and I'll let you talk.
so the other piece of information that to me it makes a lot of sense. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it's factual. Is so the portal opened today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the kids that are already will commit in the next day or two had a backdoor deal because they're not going to be taking visits because they already knew before they went in where they were going. So you just keep an eye on who are the early committers out of the portal and just
Oh, we know.
catalog it
I
and
mean,
just wonder did they get an offer before they ever left a school?
we know that because it
Yeah,
happens. It happens to travel ball teams.
yeah.
I,
But
I, I
again,
probably have one or two on my team. No, not on my team. But
yeah. But
their teams.
I'm just telling you, I hate it.
But I mean, I don't like it either. But you know what it is? It's like, okay, you wanted this to be professional sports. You wanted these salaries. You wanted these players to be able to make money. You wanted NIL, and this is what comes with NIL. This comes with it. This comes with NIL, and you know what also comes with NIL? Because now that you're making money, now you matter more. Now we're not treating you with like kid gloves. This comes with NIL, right? Softball's mess, the messiness of softball that we've always ignored and we've never talked about, the messiness is now being exposed. Oh, you guys want to be adults? Well, you are adults. You're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Legally, you're adults. Now let's talk about the mess.
Here's what
Let's talk
else
about
I
the mess.
heard
Let's talk
is
about the mess now. Now the ESPN announcers are talking about the mess. It's a subject brought up probably in the production meetings for ESPN and the announcers. We're going to talk about this. We're going to pan into the audience and start putting the camera on people's parents. we're going to start talking about Facebook posts that went out. And we're gonna really talk about the mess and not the softball game anymore. So now I got 10-year-old, 9-year-old kids watching college softball,
Look,
and
and it's a mess.
the camera is focused on the audience of a parent who is unruly, and those kids want to watch the softball players. You see what's happening?
Yeah,
You see what's happening?
I do. Yeah,
So
and
with
I'm going to
money,
say it again. I hate
with
it.
I don't like it either.
Yeah,
With money comes all the other stuff: the disloyalty, the anti-culture, the questionable character of athletes and parents. Remember, now we have social media. Now it's different. Now anybody can get on there and create any narrative they want, say what they want, true or false. They can say what they want, and of course, there's going to be tampering. There's tampering in travel. I mean, and there are things that ethically I would never do, because, and I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not knocking any grown men who go into a teenager's DMs to poach, whatever word you want to use, steal, invite, tamper with, um, to come to my team. That's something that I will not do. And
yeah,
I'm not saying
yeah.
that somebody who's doing it is wrong. That's something that I will not do.
Yeah.
You
Well,
understand?
here's a another stat that I heard. I don't. Again, I didn't research it, but the worry is that softball is going to become the next basketball because I understand that this last year, 50% of Division I basketball players went into the portal. 51% of all the kids playing college D1 basketball went in the portal.
Boys or girls?
So I'll be curious
Men's or
to see
women's?
what the percent is in softball.
Is that men's or women's?
Pardon me?
Is that men's or women's?
Men's.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think this, and again, it still goes back to the same thing. AAU men's and women's basketball is
A lot of money changing
a
hands, right?
culture, yeah, and that too. And there's a culture of leavers,
Of what?
Leave, people who leave. It's my new
Oh,
word.
oh, I got you. Okay.
It's my new word. I call them leavers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. I'm gonna say this. Did you see how many kids just left LSU? Do you see that one?
The what?
How many players just left LSU?
I haven't seen. I heard there were a few, but
A truckload of players left LSU, and
okay.
I love Beth Torina. She's the one person in college sports that I'm truly rooting for, because I coach with her. We have a relationship. We're close. We talk, so I'm rooting for her. But so all those kids left, but I don't think that game is the game that Beth is good at. The transfer portal. Let me get this player. Let me get that player. Her game, I think, is the culture game. So when you leave, and I believe that when people leave the culture game and they go venture out into the other game that other people are playing, you got to be just as ruthless as those people, just as heartless,
Yeah.
just as cold as those people. And if you're not as cold, it doesn't suit you. And then you get players that are like that. They can just leave you just like that, because you're playing a game that you shouldn't be playing, because that's not who you are, right? So I think we have to play
What
the
do you
game.
think? What do
Yeah.
you think the top 3 or 4 reasons are that a kid goes in a portal? Obviously, we're talking money right now. That's
You know what's
somewhere up
funny?
near number one somewhere.
You know what's funny? Everybody's truth is to be interpreted for themselves. So, for example, right? For example, um, two people on the same team could have two totally different experiences.
Yeah. One plays, one doesn't play.
Well, it could be playing time. It
One's
could
in
be
the right click, one's in the wrong
yeah,
click.
that's true too.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, they're still having two different experiences. And one person can be like, "I really freaking hate it here." Another person can be like, "I really love it here." there could be a situation between like a player who like they're swinging a certain way and they're playing for a coach who's trying to change their swing. Yo, this is the swing that I came here with and that made me good. You asked me to change. I bought in and it did not work for me.
So I hate it here.
Now, of course, I hated it. I would hate it there too.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball players are not even using. You could be playing for the San Diego Padres and not want to use their hitting people. I got my own guy. This is my career. I'm a professional. Remember, you're a professional now. So guess what? Don't listen to that hitting coach. Bring your own guy. If we're going to be professionals all across the board. So we have to start to look at how the culture has to shift because of the money and because of the NIL potential. It becomes more of a business, and the players become more of business people. Softball is not really good at cultivating players to be good business people, like the other sports are. So, because you mentioned basketball, and basketball is very good at that. The basketball players understand branding. They understand marketing themselves. They understand that they are a business. They understand how that works. That's why they're able to get those major marketing deals and major brand deals, right? The basketball players are getting
Yeah.
major brand deals. Softball players are getting like glove deals.
Hmm.
And you get a couple of gloves, a
Well, hey,
couple
wait a
couple
minute
thousand
now.
dollars.
Wait a minute now. You just you just pulled a
Go,
political maneuver on me. I asked you a very simple, almost yes and no
what did I
question,
do?
and you circled the wagons all the way around it here. So,
Okay.
what are the
Why do people
top?
leave? Top
Just
four. Okay.
give me the top three. I'll let you off easy.
Um, top three from this is from my experience of players that I talked to. Okay.
Yeah.
Top three. Um, I think number one would have to be playing time, whether people want to
Okay.
admit it or not. Playing time that you probably didn't earn. So guess what? Go transfer and sit on the next bench because you're probably not going to earn it over there either.
Hmm.
So number one, let's plug in and be playing time. Number two, it's probably going to be um, a miss. I'm not getting along with the staff. It's not what I thought it was
Okay.
going to be. That
Yeah.
could be no. I'm not going to say that's
Could be
number two.
your pitching
I'm
coach or your
it,
hitting coach. Could be the whole
whatever.
coach.
It could be that.
Yeah.
So that would be a fit. That would be a fit problem.
Yeah.
This is not a fit. I thought it was going to be a fit. It turned out not to be a fit. Or maybe it was a fit, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it didn't become a fit. And then I think also, and I can give you four. I think another one would be my coach left.
That's easy.
We had a coaching change, right? And
Okay.
that's what I like about the portal because now I'm not stuck here. My coach left. I have an opportunity. I have an option. I'm not
Yeah.
stuck here. The coach left. I mean, if somebody says to me, "Well, I'm going here just for the school," I'm going here for the school. You're lying. I'm not going anywhere for the school. I'm committing to people. If you want to be real,
All right.
you're committing to people. You're not going somewhere for the school unless you're going to Princeton or Brown or like Penn State, U Penn. Like then you're going for the school because those are schools. Like you're gonna come out of there making. Now,
money.
granted, you can go to Stanford for the school.
Yeah.
I'll go to Georgia Tech
Okay.
for the
So
school.
I'm gonna ask you this one. Where does this
Yeah,
one fit into the scheme of things?
yeah.
Do you hear this? Lack of development. I'm not being developed by whatever my position is. I'm not being developed. I'm
Rick,
not as good as when I went into college at
Rick,
whatever I do, hitting,
Rick,
pitching, fielding, whatever.
Rick.
Yeah,
You put me in this position because you know I'm not gonna lie about this.
I know it.
You purposely asked me that question because you wanted me to
I
say,
did.
"Oh,
I
I'll say."
got you. I
I
got you.
have no
Right now, you
problem.
got to answer.
I have no problem saying it. You're not going to college to get developed because colleges don't develop. They can't develop. They don't know enough to develop. So
Oh
if
boy,
you think you're gonna,
you just lost most of your
you
friends.
set me up. I don't have friends.
Well, you don't now.
I don't have friends. I'm not running for president. I'm not running for mayor. Listen, you ain't going to college to get developed. I tell my kids all the time, you're responsible for your own swing. Nobody's going to save you. They can't save you.
What if a kid
So wait, let me finish that.
never kind of was really her own?
Let me finish. If you're
Yeah.
going to college thinking you're going to get developed, you just left the travel ball team that doesn't develop. I can only name about 4 travel ball programs that actually get kids better. Most of them go out and just cherry pick the best.
versus
This is about
developing kids, right? Yeah.
so there's no softball doesn't even have a development culture anymore. It used to.
Hmm.
It used
Yeah,
to. There's no development going on. None. Zero.
I feel that I hear that a lot.
Have
But
you watched the game? Have you watched the college game? There's no development.
let me ask you a question. How many of your kids, and you got to be careful with what you say. Well, of course, you don't have any friends anyhow, so
I
you
don't have
don't
any
have
friends,
to
right?
be careful. How many of your kids say, "Hey, I know more about hitting than my hitting coach at college does"?
Ready?
Yeah, all of them.
This is what I tell my kids before they go to school.
Yeah,
Ready? I say, make sure you have a conversation with the coaches that are there about hitting slash pitching and get an understanding of philosophies. Make sure you are able to articulate your philosophies to them to
and see if it aligns.
see if there's some alignment there.
Yeah,
You are responsible for that. Otherwise, you're going to go in there and you're going to be surprised at the things
disappointed
at the
maybe.
things and disappointed at the
Yeah.
things that they're going to ask you to do. You're going to be like, what? And you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked at how high up a level those schools are.
Oh, I wouldn't be
At their
shocked.
lack of knowledge. No,
Other people would be.
the kids
Yes.
would be
Yeah. Hmm.
because you're judging them by their logo. I don't even know. I wonder if other sports have that same problem. Like when they get there, people don't know what they're doing or what they're talking about. I wonder if other sports have that problem. I wonder, or if it's just softball. That's just something I always wonder. But I'm going to say this. And so I tell my kids, I say, look, when you get there, don't try to outshine with how much you think you know about hitting to your coaches and make them feel small because they may not have the they may not be secure enough to handle that.
Yeah.
Just be a good listener and try to take what they're giving you as something that you can considerably work into what you know you need to do. So if I give them their core things, if I can help my kids, and this is why I think I'm a little different in my approach, because I don't want to badmouth your coaches at the collegiate level, right? I don't want to do that, right? But I do want to make sure that you're able to survive too. And I have to put it back on my kids. No, you're responsible for your own stuff. In fact, my post today, my post on Instagram was about just that, right? My post was what you just said, and I'm gonna play the post. It's funny you said that, and I was talking to a college player when I said it, and I'm gonna tell you what I told her. Watch, you ready? I'm gonna play it right now. See if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Hitting coaches should not be a monologue. It's not just one person telling you what to do. It's an exchange. It's a dialogue. It's a conversation. Hopefully, it should be a conversation about how you feel, how you like to move, what's comfortable for, what works for you, and there's room for you to still be you, and that coach is guiding you, not commanding you. But that's the hard part, like you're saying, right? But that's on you to be able to articulate that to your coach and communicate it. So
I would say,
so buy-in. So my thing for my kids, buy-in has to be a two-way street. If it's not, you're probably going to the wrong school.
I
Yeah.
fear that young kids are intimidated, and I think they're intimidated during the recruiting process. I don't think that they dig deep enough, whether it's hitting, pitching, fielding, whatever. Does the place I'm going to, does the coach that's my specialty coach have the alignment with me so that I'm going to at least not get any worse or not going to have to make a wholesale change? I'm guessing that maybe is something when people like you and I are helping to guide kids or other people in the recruiting process that we hit that really hard. Young lady, do not be afraid to address that with that specialty coach when you're trying to make a decision, before you make a
Yeah,
decision.
I always encourage people to ask the right questions before they get there.
Yeah.
especially about philosophies. I always encourage them to do that. Do they do it? Like you said, they probably don't because of the intimidation
Yeah.
and things like that, or because not even intimidation, because of their lack of maturity as a young person. Like I try to empower my kids with knowledge and information. We talk metrics before they so when they get when my kids get to school, they know just as much, most of the times more, about metrics, Rapsodo data, spin, exit velo, launch, and all those things that affect swings, vertical bat angle. And so my kids can talk about vertical bat angle with anybody in the country. All of my students, because I make sure that I empower them to actually know what's going on, not just giving them opinions. And I want them to question everything. Question me. If I can't tell you why, question me. If anybody can't tell you why, question them. Because if I don't teach them how to do that, I'm not equipping them. They're going to fail because guess what? You're going to go in there and listen to some coach who's 2 years out of college who can only teach you what they did.
Yeah.
And if you don't
Yeah.
do what they did, they can't teach you.
My goal with my kids when they, usher off to college is that they are a better pitching coach than the coach that they're inheriting, that they know more. You just mentioned all the metrics, et cetera, et cetera. However, I do feel there's too high a percentage of kids that still don't know how to self correct. They've had all the information, they know all the metrics, but when something goes south on them, they don't seem to be able to reach back into their data bank or hopefully all the notes they took or whatever to make that self correction. And, I know that disappoints me. And I know that happens with kids, probably several of my own kids. But boy, I know I'm doing my hardest to make sure they understand, you know what, if your changeup's going too high, why is it going too high? You shouldn't need a coach to stand there and tell you why. You should know
You should
why.
you should know why. But here's the thing. We need more. We need to be able to have ways in which when we have our kids to better develop them into more independent thinkers. Because dependency is probably the root of all evil in performance sports. Dependency on someone other than yourself.
Yeah.
Guidance is good, but dependency is not good. So my
Yeah.
job for me when I'm in my I'll give you an example. This weekend, right? I want to field my team. Now, if you played for me for 2-3 years, you already know the adjustments that we make on certain types of pitchers. We're making specific adjustments on drop ball pitchers. We're making specific adjustments in the batter's box on rise ball pitchers and whatever. We're making specific mental adjustments on pitchers who are changeup happy, right? So now, if you played for me and we've done this season in and season out, why are we still having this conversation? And I told my kids straight up in the huddle, and I said, that's going to be the reason why you're going to be on the bench. And
Yeah.
why you're not going to be able to figure out how to get into a lineup. When you have 18, 19 hitters in college, 9 play, and winning teams might go 11 deep, maybe 12, into that hitting depth chart. You're never going to play. Not because you're not skilled enough, because your mental game is weak. That's a you issue that you need to figure out. Or you will sit. And if you sit the first year, you're going to just keep watching freshmen come in and play over you every year. And then you're going to be just begging for an at bat on senior day. That's going to be your career.
Yeah.
Can I get an at bat on senior day? Is that your legacy? Is that what you want? Is that your brand? So let's go. Like, you got to figure it out. This is high school ball. So I think so that's those are the kind of conversations I'm having with my kids. And people who don't like that, they can go ahead. But
Well,
you know what I'm seeing too? I'm seeing this, Rick. Address this one. All the super sexy teams, the super teams, right? The sexy teams at the ball level. They got kids sitting in college. That goes back to the development thing. I can
sure.
win. I can do that. Go find me a millionaire and go buy players and then go win natties. But where are they when they get to college? Are they
Yeah.
sitting or are they playing?
So here's, Rob, I'm going to throw out, you got my brain moving here. Here's maybe the best thing that a young lady or an athlete could do before they go to college. For instance, I have several girls that are juniors or seniors, and in the summer, their job, they're giving pitching lessons to little girls. And I'm thinking, that is the best thing you could do. Because now, if you have to teach it, you're going to remember it, okay? And you're going to know it when you get off to college. Uh, I'm always excited when one of my kids says, "Hey, yeah, I gave a lesson to a little girl the other day." I'm like, "That's great.
Hmm.
I won't have to repeat things quite so often anymore."
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to make them their own coach.
Yeah, I always say one of my famous quotes that I always tell my kids is, "You have to be your own best hitting coach."
Yeah.
I should
Yeah.
be. I don't even like talking about swings. I want to talk about hitting. When we're and I tell my kids all the time, I hope this is not going to be a hitting. I hope this is not going to be a swing lesson because I really want to talk about hitting today.
Yeah.
And they look at me like, huh? I'm like, yeah. I don't want to talk about swings. I want to talk about hitting. The whole hour. Let's can we, and then when they get in and the swings like everything's going different ways. Now we got to make it a swing lesson. Like it's not gonna, your swing ain't gonna be the reason why you're good.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
not by itself. So
Well, hey,
it's those things. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
pal, let's let's shift gears here with our little conversation. Now, we started out in the portal and we kind of morphed off a little bit here into a rabbit trail. But what did you think about the College World Series as the whole, the region, super region College World Series? What are your overriding thoughts on the whole play that went on?
So the entrepreneur in me and the business person in me, I kind of look at it from that standpoint, and I paid attention to the narratives that were pushed. And if anybody who's a real who's anything who's more than a casual fan, if you're more than a casual softball fan, what you knew was Carlin Pickens was not Tennessee's number one at any point in the season this year. Pickens was not Tennessee's number one.
She had some real competition, didn't she, within her own team?
So she was
Yeah.
not number one. And Kennedy from Texas Tech, she was not Texas Tech's number one either. But you had to push them because they were the faces and they were the money. They were the money kids, the money players. So you had to push them. And you had to create a narrative that made it seem like these were the people. But they were not the people that got those teams there. It was the quote
Yeah.
unquote, it was the quote unquote, I got air quotes if you guys are not watching on video. They were the quote unquote um,
I think
yeah.
some of the, to me, this was the most exciting, my favorite College World Series that I'd seen this year. A lot of it probably had to do with some of the backstory stuff going on, the lack of handshakes or the things going on in the handshake line or not going on in the handshake line.
The messiness.
Uh,
That
but
messiness has always
the
been there. Go ahead. Now they just want to talk
yeah,
about it. Yeah.
but I thought I'm going to throw a big kudo out to Mike White, who just won his second national championship.
Yes. Shout out to Mike White.
I think he did the same thing this year he did last year. Now, partially he had something to do with it, and partially he didn't, but he managed to wear out Nigeria Kennedy again. He did it last year, he did it this year. And that's the difference. She was running on fumes, and he'd managed to somehow keep enough gas in Tegan Caban's tank to win the series. If you want to just boil it right down to
Yeah,
to
I
two
like
people,
I like that thought, but again, last year. Oh, okay. I like that. But and I'm going to tell you this. Here's how I saw it. Last year, Kennedy had no help. This year, she
Uh,
actually had
True.
help. She
She
actually
had
had
real good
help,
help this year.
and
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here wondering why her help didn't pitch more. That's what I'm sitting here saying. I'm like, why are they? Is this some kind of like back room agreement that this one has to pitch more than that one, or we have to win it with
Uh,
this one on the field? Because clearly you're about to blow it. You're about to blow it because you're trying to live up to the narrative that's not even true.
yeah.
The lefty, what's her name? What's the girl's name? What's her name? What's the one? You know what I'm talking about?
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
The girl from that came from UCLA, Terry.
um, Caitlin Terry. You
Yeah.
know what? Can I say something? You know what Caitlin Terry reminds me of? She
Yeah.
reminded me of back when like Danielle Laurie was in the circle in the World Series, and they would zoom in on Danielle Laurie's face, and you
Yeah.
look at her face, and you're saying to yourself, "She ain't losing." She had that look.
Competitor.
She had that look, Rick.
Well, she
She
had
had
it in the
that. She had
batter's
that look.
box.
She had that
Yeah.
look that
Everywhere.
most that you don't even see that look anymore. You don't
Yeah.
even see that look. Caitlin Terry had that look, dude. I was like, yo, she got the Danielle Laurie, I ain't freaking losing face. And I was like, yo, I got chills just by, I'm getting chills by saying it. And that's competitive. And I tell my girls, like, watch the World Series. Watch that kind of stuff. Watch the confidence. Watch the swag. Watch that stuff. You can see it, you
I
know?
would say this year, Rob, I felt like maybe my memory is, going on me from past seasons or whatever. Look at the top 4 or 5 teams in order of finish in the World Series this year. They all had at least 2 really good pitchers. They had 2 really good choices. Texas had 2. Texas Tech had 2. Tennessee had 3.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama had 2. Nebraska had 2.
So you
Um,
know what that brings me to? Taylor Tinsley,
what's
UCLA.
that?
That brings me to the next thing. Taylor Tinsley, UCLA.
You know
Now,
what? I think that young lady should have gotten the award for the most outstanding player in a College World Series. She carried that team on her
but you
back.
can't you just can't give it to a team that doesn't finish at least in the top two though. You can't. I agree with you,
Well,
but you,
you
you
who
just can't you
can't?
can't do it. I'm just
Other
saying
people
it's
can't.
it's
You and
not
I can
it's
because we
not
know
gonna it's not
better.
gonna happen. But I'm gonna tell you this, right?
Yeah,
A shout to UCLA. That's culture, right?
yeah.
And they play so UCLA in their heads, and we're looking at it like, oh, you need 3 pitchers, you need a staff. UCLA never needed a staff. When have they ever had a staff? They always had one pitcher that took them all the way to the promised land. When has UCLA? Can you think about it? When has UCLA ever had a staff? They always had that pitcher. They've always had. This is our pitcher.
Well, you know
Always.
what they did They did last year, and 2 of them went somewhere
Okay. Okay.
else.
Okay. Well, that's what I mean. Right? Well, but when they won it, I mean, when they won it,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna lie, I thought UCLA was gonna win the whole thing. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about like how did Oklahoma go home? How
Uh
did
huh.
UCLA go home? How did Florida go home? And I know when those 3 teams went home, ESPN's production money people were like, "Oh no, we're gonna lose money." They had to be like, but
Yeah.
how they made up for it? They made up for it by pushing the mess.
The mess.
They pushed the mess
Maybe.
to sell tickets. That's what they did. They turned it up on the mess. Okay, Oklahoma's going
Yeah.
home. We got to have something to sell. Let's sell garbage and mess. Let's keep the camera on the Texas Tech dugout the whole time and see who's chirping and talk about let's talk about the rules for getting ejected. Are you sitting here talking about the rules for getting ejected right now? When there's a whole softball game going on, there's not even a camera on the batter and the hitter and then the pitcher.
Yeah.
Like so it was a big marketing like, well, since Oklahoma and Florida aren't here, we need something interesting. And I just
Yeah.
thought it was disgusting. And
There,
I'm
there
straight
was
up.
too much attention
I thought it was
to the
disgusting.
mess, not enough to the game.
I thought it was disgusting.
Yeah.
And if that's where you want to go
Yep.
with it, then go ahead. But I personally, I thought it was disgusting. But can I ask you this? I'm gonna ask you a question.
Ask me a question. I'll give you an answer. I'm not going to give it a political answer. I'm not going to dodge around it like somebody I know.
I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. And as a hitting coach, there were too many home runs.
What's that?
There were too many home runs.
There were a lot of home runs
I mean,
all year.
all year,
All year.
and I'm gonna say this. Why do you think there were so many home runs?
Well, gee, I hate to give you guys any credit, but you hitting coaches must be doing one hell of a job.
I don't think that's the answer.
Okay.
I don't think that's the answer. But
Oh, do you
I
think
don't
there are
think
too
that's the
many
answer at all.
pitches
No.
thrown, too many thrown down the middle of the middle of the
think
plate?
I think the reason why there's so many home runs is not because hitters are so great. It's because pitchers are so freaking horrible and they throw balls right down the pipe. What do you expect? If you're gonna throw me a fatty on, go ahead.
It's just, yeah.
What you got? What do you think?
No, I agree with that a lot. Um, I don't think I think there's too much of an emphasis on speed and not enough on ball movement and location. And it ought to be almost reversed around. First of all, you should hit a spot which the middle of the plate is not the spot, in case somebody was wondering. And throwing a rise ball that has a big dot gyro is not ball movement. That's an upward slanted fastball. And your good teams that know how to hit, they can sit on that pitch and hit it out of the park every day of the week.
So you just said exactly everything that I was gonna say to a T.
Oh, now that's scary.
So yeah, because
Yeah.
you know why? Velo matters when you're facing bad hitters, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why people focus on velo. Take your velo and come to Colorado, Power Pool, Triple Crown, and bring your 70-mile-an-hour fastball. They will put it in the second parking lot.
Yeah.
Nobody cares at that level how hard you throw. They don't
Yeah.
care. No one does. You need 3 speeds, sometimes 4. You need to be able to hit a spot.
Mm-hmm.
Your ball needs to move. But because people are playing such mediocre competition and they're dominating with 67 and 66, 66 that's like 60.
So
65, that's
let me
60
ask
miles
you
an
this
hour.
question. I'm going to feed right into what you're saying here. Is
Like, it doesn't
you know
matter.
all the Facebook posts or the Instagram posts of pitchers. What are they? It's the kid holding
a
the
gun.
pocket right there
holding
with
a
the
gun.
67 or 68 or 70 miles an hour. You ever see one that hold up something saying, "Oh man, I scored 32 out of 36 on my location scoring test"? You never see that.
Or my spin efficiency.
You don't see it. Yeah, my spin efficiency. You'll never see that.
You
You should.
You know what velocity? You know when throwing velocity matters most?
When the what?
You know when throwing velocity matters most? On defense.
Well, let me think about it.
Defense. I want catchers to throw hard. I want my third baseman to throw hard. I want my shortstop to throw hard. I want my second baseman to throw hard. And I want all my freaking outfielders to throw hard. My pitcher doesn't have to throw hard, especially if she can hit a spot and spin it and she has multiple speeds.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to hit multiple speeds?
Really hard.
It's hard. It's
hard.
freaking hard.
Yeah.
If you got
You
heat,
know, I
bring it.
think one of the prime examples who made that work. I'm going to mispronounce her first name, but Satali Gutierrez from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
She was going from 68 to 59, and it looked like the exact same pitch coming out of her hand.
That's
And
dirt.
well,
That's
honestly,
filth.
you know, I said that the Tinsley girl from UCLA should get the MVP award. I think Satali ought to at least get a co-MVP award. Because of her. Texas was able to sort of salvage a few innings for Tegan Caban. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyhow, now I got another question for you. You're going to love this one.
Oh no.
What was the new hot pitch this year? And it was really good. Come on, low rise ball.
The low
Did you see
rise.
anybody hit a good low rise? I saw quite a few kids were actually throwing a decent low rise, especially Tegan Cavan. As a hitting coach, I mean, you are a hitting coach, right?
Okay.
How do you teach your kids to hit a low rise? I'm not talking belt tie. I'm talking, you know, 3 inches above the knee rise ball.
Okay, you ready for this? That's a good question.
I really am
No,
because yeah,
okay, I got you.
yeah.
So, and this is where I think people really need to, and this is why the people who understand metrics can understand how I'm going to answer this question.
Hmm.
Because if you understand that there's inches associated with breaks, when pitchers coaches talk, they talk a certain language at the next level, right? When
Yeah.
hitting coaches talk, they also talk a certain language at the next level. And pitching coaches talk a lot about spin rate, and they talk about inches and break. So they say 4 inch drop, 4 inch rise, 5 inch drop curve, 5 inch break. They use inches to give you the amount of space the ball's breaking.
Yeah.
And the only way you can barrel those pitches is if the hitters understand vertical bat angle. But the pitching coaches have to also understand vertical bat angle too. Because if you don't understand both, you don't understand how to coach and make adjustments for different types of pitchers. So
So I
for
got to
example,
ask you a question now.
go ahead.
You're getting really technical on me, but I'm
I
going to
know, but
ask you a
I had
question.
to set the tone because I'm talking to an audience who may not know what those things are. I have to set that first. If I go right
Sure.
into it, me and you could have that conversation, but I'll lose 90% of my audience who don't
How
understand
do
that, right?
you how do you train a pitcher's
Right.
brain and vision to understand that just because a ball is low does not mean it's going to have 6 or 8 or 10 inches of vertical drop.
Well, that wasn't where I was
That's
going, right? That
that's
wasn't where I was
why
going.
that's why the low rise ball is so hard.
But let me tell you what I would if I'm a
A
hitting
low
coach.
a low pitch is supposed to drop, right?
Listen, if I'm a hitting coach,
Yeah.
right, and I'm teaching my hitters how to hit against a pitcher with a low rise, and the
Yeah.
problem with the low rise pitch is that hitting is about visual files, right? And this is the reason why a baseball player will never be able to hit a fast pitch pitcher. You don't have enough visual files. You haven't seen a ball coming
Haven't
from.
seen enough. Yeah.
You haven't seen it enough, right?
Hmm.
And because the low rise, as the quote unquote new pitch that you said it was, we haven't seen it. We don't have the visual files for it. And that's what gives that pitch its power. That's its power. The power of that pitch is hitters haven't seen it enough to have visual files to go back and
They
retrieve.
don't. There's
There's
no
no
data
cache.
bank up
If you,
here
got,
at
if you guys
all.
understand how internet
Yeah.
cache works, when your web browser says, do you want to clear cache? Well, the cache helps you to get to the websites faster because you have the memory of those websites and the cookies, right? Well, the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing in hitting. I have cache as a hitter. I have visual cache.
Yep.
CACHE. I have visual cache. Because I've seen so many low rises, I'm going to have a better opportunity to understand how to get to that pitch. And because I haven't seen as many rise balls, I'm never going to hit it.
It's kind of like the whole maturation process on rise. So let's say a younger kid actually has semi a legit rise, one that's up here at the top or an inch above the zone.
Mm-hmm.
As a young kid, she's going to strike out everybody because nobody has seen a rise ball. Now all of a sudden she's getting a little older and kids are
She
figuring
sees more
out,
rise balls.
oh, they got a little cash, right?
They got more cash. Yep.
Okay. But to your point, I agree. They don't have any cash on a low rise ball. And there's very few kids that can throw it, honestly.
Well, and that's my other thing. And because of that, you're not going to see it as much. So even if I go,
Yeah.
if I face a batter who has a low rise, a pitcher who throws a low rise once in my career,
Mhm.
and I go 0 for 3, so what? 0 for 3 is not going to make me take me from 500 to 300. I'm 0 for 3. That's called you're facing a good pitcher. Ask anybody who played in the SEC when Monica Abbott pitched. If you play Tennessee twice and she pitches twice, you can go ahead and put 0 for 8 down.
Sure.
You can go ahead and put. I'm starting off this season. If I play in the SEC and Monica Abbott pitching, I'm starting off this season 0 for 8. Maybe hopefully I walk, so 0 for 7.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's why it's called the batting average. It's called the batting average. It's not. It's the batting average. I think
because you get lucky and don't have to face Monica every time.
Right, but where I was going with the vertical bat angle thing was the only shot I have at that pitch is I have to have more of a flatter vertical bat angle to put my swing on playing it in the zone longer, because if I have the traditional bat path, that the break of that pitch misses that barrel. That ball and that barrel is never going to be on the same plane at the same time if my vertical bat angle doesn't adapt to that pitch. And you know what a good example of that was? The 2017 World Series. Florida versus the 17-inning game. I think it was Florida versus
who's pitching?
The girl from Georgia who had the three different rise balls. She didn't play for Georgia, but she's from Georgia.
Oh man, you got me stumped.
I can't remember who they played either. Who'd they play?
Well, wait a minute. You're thinking of Kelly Barnhill. She's from Georgia, played for Florida.
Kelly Barnhill. Yeah. Barnhill had 3 rise balls at 3 different levels. Am I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And
she had 3 different speeds on them, actually.
And that's how freaking good she was, man. And I'm going to tell you, the strategy was you could see the hitters, they were chopping. That's the only way they could have got it. And they got it. She came out of that game really early. And I think those are the types of things that when you start understanding angles, and which is why vertical bat angle and understanding it is important, you can literally pitch to the batter's average vertical bat angle, and you can adapt your vertical bat angle to the pitcher's average break space. If that's even a thing for you guys as pitchers. Right. But that's the only way you can do it. And again, it's still hard. So I think, that's why I want to set the stage with understanding what vertical bat angle is. So vertical bat angle is the angle of the bat at contact. And it's going to be flatter the higher and the more outside a pitch is.
It's got to be flatter.
It's got to be flatter. It's going to be steeper the lower and the more inside a pitch is in order for you to barrel it. Of course, you can hit it, but you won't barrel it. And the pitchers who can see that, and this is why I always say pitching coaches are probably the best hitting coaches because they watch so much film. And nobody talks to pitching coaches about hitting. If you're smart, you would talk to really good pitching coaches about hitting because they've watched more film than anybody in terms of watching swings. No one has watched more film than pitching coaches.
I can guarantee you that.
No one has. So if you want to know a couple things about hitting and you're smart, most of my friends are pitching coaches. Because I want to pick their brain.
Am I one of them?
Absolutely. I just want to pick your brain. I just want to pick your brain about pitching. That's all. That's the only reason why we have this relationship.
Yeah. Well, I think we're leading right into another thing. We're getting into pitching, and it's hitting. I had this conversation with one of my students last night. This kid's really good. Mm-hmm. I felt like she was falling into a little bit of a trap or not getting out of a trap. She was kind of infatuated with, I'll pick one of her pitches, her curveball, okay? It's a great big, the thing breaks, 15 feet or something stupid like that. I mean, really a lot, right? Okay? It's not 15 feet, but anyhow. Okay, I said to her, hey, you're doing a bunch of that with your body. You're just throwing some angle. And that thing, I'm telling you, I could hit it or no, I shouldn't swing at it. When that thing's about 7 feet out of your hand, it's already shown me what it's going to do. Mm-hmm. You need to use less body English. You need to let your arm and your hand dictate what that ball is going to do. It
Arm and
needs
hand.
to be late, sharp break. If it breaks less, but it breaks later and sharper, it's better than your great big swoopy curveball. So the moral of the story is don't fall into that trap. Yeah, you're striking out every high school kid you face, right? Well, whoop de do. Is that going to work when you are playing in a P5 conference? Maybe not. Probably not.
Hmm.
So late sharp. I
P5.
mean, I mean,
That
how do your hitters learn to react? I mean, late sharp means that ball's not showing what it's going to do until it's 15 feet or less in front of home plate.
All right, ready? So hitting his eyeballs.
It's
Listen, okay, so
eyeballs.
ready? Look, at the
Hmm.
highest level, because you said P5 earlier. I know you meant P4.
Of course I did. Yeah.
I don't even use the word P4.
Yeah.
We gotta stop. You think this really a P4?
You're going to
Do you
use
think this
SEC on me, aren't you?
do you think this really a P4 though? No, honestly,
Yeah.
this is not football. Come on, man.
Yeah.
There's SEC. There's SEC, and
Yeah.
then after that there's a P3.
There you go.
Now within that P3 though, at the top of most of those conferences, the top, like the top two, you could put them with SEC if we're being honest.
Yeah, I don't really, I
But we
don't,
gotta stop. We gotta stop
I
with the
can't
P4.
disagree with you there.
We
Really
gotta cut it
can't.
out with the P4 thing because this is softball is not football. The
Yeah.
logo on your hat does not mean that you're as special as your team as your school's football program. And we gotta cut it out and be honest. And that's one of the problems with softball. We're delusional. The delusion drives me insane.
I've been accused of that a few times.
We need to be honest. If we're not honest, everybody then people can start stepping up. The honesty and being able to call out certain things will help people to step up more. But if we keep running around calling it P4 when it's not, just to make other people feel good, what are
Yeah,
we doing?
good point. Yeah, P4 probably applies to football. You're right.
It definitely
Uh,
applies to football.
yeah, I don't follow any other sport, so I don't, other than softball, really. So I don't know if it applies to basketball or baseball
It applies to
or
basketball.
anything else.
It applies to all the sports, just not
Yeah,
softball.
yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah,
And if anybody wants to prove me wrong in the comments, I'm happy to hear it. I'm all ears. Prove me wrong.
yeah.
I'm very open minded about that. But I'm tell you right now, I know I'm not wrong on that one.
Hey, I'm going to throw out. I'm changing subjects on you again
Go ahead.
because I know we got limited time, but one of the things that made me the happiest, and I didn't see every game played in region, super region, or college World Series. I do not recall seeing a crow hopper
You mean a jumper?
playing
Yeah.
at a crow hopper, not just everybody leaps, but crow hopper. I did not see one, which makes me happy.
Are people
Which kind
doing it
of, I
though?
think,
But are people
it
doing
kind
it?
of, there's people teaching it.
I know. I know. There's people teaching a lot of things, but are people
Yeah.
doing it? I don't see people at the highest levels doing it. That it's just high success rates doing it.
Well, you know why? I think here's my opinion, and this is what I want to believe is, yeah, it looked kind of really cool, but can you throw a strike and make a ball move? And you know,
I mean,
uh,
I'll say this.
it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in fast pitch softball.
Well, here's what I would say. Right.
It's trying to ruin the game.
But I would say, um, I would think that you would have to have an incredible amount of athleticism, coordination, leg strength, vertical jump, plyometric ability
Stability.
to be able to get that done. Then that's the
Yeah.
only way. You just can't just go around teaching that to people. You would literally, at least I would literally probably have to do an assessment of that athlete and say, you know, what's your standing broad jump? Like, what's your leg strength look like? Like, what's your back? Usually, you're probably going to probably be a basketball player, a volleyball player, somebody who jumps a lot,
Yeah.
who has a certain set of abilities with regards to like lower half and balance and control. before we even venture into trying to do that kind of thing. That's what I would think, just looking at it with my own experience. But to just go out and just start teaching it to everybody,
Hmm.
I mean,
Well,
that's kind of crazy to
you're
me.
out. You're out on the travel ball circuit. I'm not anymore. I stay home.
I've never seen anybody do it.
I'm happy to hear that.
But we're high level.
Hope,
We play high
oh,
level. We play pretty high level, like travel ball. So we're not playing it.
yeah,
So if you're
yeah.
going to be successful high level, I don't think that's going to work,
So I'm
unless
curious. I'm curious why
unless you're
people are
special.
teaching it then.
I don't know who's teaching it. I have no idea. But I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it anywhere I've been.
that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. What else? Boy, I got one or two other things I want to say here.
That's the worst thing that's happened to softball since parents.
Yeah. Hey, here's another thing. I saw this. Don't even know where it was. It was probably on Instagram. Somebody did a poll, or they developed their own poll, and I don't know why they picked the number 11, but the top 11 fast pitch pitchers of all time, and they wrapped them all from number one down to what they thought was
You
number
got the
11.
list? You
Oh,
have the list?
I don't have it. I can't even remember where I saw it, but I looked at it again and again, and I went through the whole list a couple times, and they were no doubt about it. They were all good pitchers. I'm not saying that. Um, Four of them never won a national championship. Who do you think the top two were on the list?
Cat Asselman and Megan. Cat Asselman and
Monica
Monica Abbott.
never won a national
They
championship.
won an Addy.
And literally, I would have a hard time arguing that they shouldn't be right at the top of the list. But I found that interesting.
That they
You
never won an
know,
Addy.
yeah, never won,
And so
never.
Cat Asselman is probably my all-time favorite pitcher. And Texas just wasn't very competitive back then. And it's a shame that she didn't get an opportunity to win an Addy. Let alone get
It
to a
is
fight.
well,
Let alone even get to a final, which is kind of weird too, because Monica Abbott at least got to a final.
yeah, yeah,
And
she did.
I believe
Hmm.
that Monica Abbott would have won that final if
Yeah,
Taryn Mowatt's changeup. And you ready for this? If you remember, Tennessee was up one game, 1-0, in a 3-game series.
well, I
And
didn't
Taryn
remember
Mowat,
that one.
they were up 1-0. And Arizona came back and won the next two. And Taryn Mowat had one pitch,
A great one.
and they couldn't hit it.
Yeah, that was a great pitch.
Everybody in the world knew it was coming, and they couldn't hit it. How
Yeah,
crazy is that?
that's when you know you got a good pitch. Let's go all the way back to speed variation, right? Our earlier discussion. Yeah.
So
All right,
yeah,
now I got to hit you with another one here, man. I
does
know.
not winning a natty not make you? So does not
I just found it was interesting.
because
Well, hey,
in other sports you're judged by your natties. Like Michael Jordan is all about he has 6 natties. You know,
yeah,
he has 6 national championships. He won 6 natties. He won 6 Finals MVPs.
yeah,
3 back to back. He three-peated twice. Every time he went to a finals, he won. It used to be like that's the best basketball player. They didn't talk about natties. Then all of a sudden, it started in basketball, at least in basketball culture. It's like how many natties do you have? I don't know if softball is like a lot more of a team sport than basketball. So
yeah.
I can't
I guess
compare the
I'm
two.
happy to say that we can say two of our best pitchers ever aren't recognized because they won national
But
championships.
you know what? She won a gold medal.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Cat Osterman did win a gold medal. Which I mean, can I say this? People are gonna be real mad about this one. I mean, other than beating Japan, I'm like, so Japan, Canada, Mexico, who are the other top teams in international ball?
Well, it's Japan's number one, and
Yeah,
we're somewhere Australia,
Australia,
Canada.
Canada,
Australia used to be. They're not now. They've kind of gone down
Mexico,
a little
right?
bit.
Isn't that Mexico? No.
Mexico's just okay now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
So
coming up. They're on the rise.
I think the standard that Japan has set for just excellence and work ethic because
That's why they beat us. You said it right
that's
there.
exactly why they beat us.
Work ethic.
But we
Whether
also,
it's intrinsic or driven,
but also
they work.
softball is the only sport in Olympics where we didn't have a winning coach as our head coach. No one else has done that. Nobody else does that. Look at all your major sports and look at all of the people who are the head coaches. They're all winners.
I'm missing the point.
Our coaches, our head coaches on all of our Olympic sports are all winners. Right now we have a winner as a head coach. Who's our head coach now?
Yeah, I think Patty's the head coach, right?
Now we have one.
And back when we won it,
Back when we won it, who was our head coaches?
Candrea was the head coach.
And they were winners.
Yeah, and well, Ralph Raymond the first time through, the Connecticut Briquettes dude.
Winner.
yeah, winner for sure.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I don't know any other sport that does that doesn't have a winner as the head coach. Don't know another sport. Yeah. And I've said this out loud, and I'm saying it on my own podcast because it's facts. I'm saying facts.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to ask you. You mentioned home runs. You had the dynamic duo at UCLA, right? You had Grant and Woolery. And how about Stewart at Texas? What did you think about their assault on the home run record? And Wells, who did Wells play for? I forgot.
Wells played for Oklahoma.
Is that who it was? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I got another question for you. I know you're not this old, but
I'm going to tell you
so
what. Go ahead.
The record was broken that Laura Espinoza held for how many years? It was back in 1995 is when she hit the most home runs ever in a season. How many would she hit now with the technology that we have?
You think it's the technology?
With the harder softballs and the hotter bats?
Well, first of all, those girls, so Wells and Grant, those two,
yeah,
are freaking tremendous hitters.
Yeah.
And their physical stature, their swing mechanics, their eyeballs are like unlike what we've seen. But when you play a schedule that UCLA in the conference that they played in was very, very lopsided in terms of the type of players that they had and the type of players who they played against in their conference with their conference change. That had a lot to do with it. I believe it had a lot to do with it. That's one.
Probably helped. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Two, Oklahoma's pregame schedule. Did you see it? Not pregame, but Oklahoma's
early season
schedule. Have you seen it?
No, I didn't look.
Okay. Go check it out.
Cupcakes?
Just go check it out. So I would venture to say that if I were other teams and I did that, I would have a couple of hitters that had that many home runs also.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I look at it. I look at it like who'd you hit against? Like when my kids come home and they say I went 4 for 4 with 3 doubles. Yeah, who'd y'all play? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Yeah.
You struck out how many
school
batters?
Of the blind. Yeah.
Wait, you struck out how many batters? Okay, well, who'd you play though? Well, who'd you play? That's where I'm at. Because all Division I teams are not created equal, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
And these are elite. And I don't throw the word elite around. First of all, I don't just say everybody. These are truly elite programs who bring a certain level of intimidation when they enter onto a field. They bring in the technology, they bring in the data, they're bringing the levels of training, they have the resources, they have the coaching. You're supposed to dominate those teams you're playing.
Yeah.
And put those kind of numbers up. They're putting up video game numbers against who though? And I'm not saying that they didn't do it against good teams too, because they did. But they did it even more, even it was even more against some of those teams they played early on. So that's my take.
Well, okay. So one more question then. What did you think about some of the teams you would have thought that would have been in the series that didn't make it to the series?
So I would have never bet against. I thought A&M would go further.
Yeah.
I thought A&M would go further. And I got something I want to say to that and to my whole thought process of the entire 2026 softball season. Um, I thought
What about
A&M would be
Florida
there.
State? How about Florida State?
So Florida State, right? And I love Lonnie and I love what she's doing. And I love like if I had a kid that plays softball, she's probably the only one that I want my kid to play for.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot. And I got friends that coach. So there you go. Quote unquote friends that coach. So she probably don't.
They used to be your friends.
No, but seriously, and Lonnie and I are not even as tight as some of the people that I'm tight with, but
Yeah.
we do have a good relationship, and I just know who she is and what she's done and what she can do for young women in terms of on the mentoring with the mentoring and the mentorship and the type of people that come out of that program after playing for her for 4 years, what type of
Hmm.
human beings they become later on. And for me, that's what's your daughter going to go to? What's she going to go to the big leagues?
Yeah.
Like she's not
I
going to the
went
big
to
leagues.
I don't live too far from the University of Virginia, and they
Mm-hmm.
hosted the ACC tournament. So I went for a couple days and watched.
I
And
heard you were there. I heard
yeah,
you were there.
Florida State was clearly the class of the tournament or the
Mm-hmm.
league. In
Mm-hmm.
my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like our P4 argument. They were the P1, and there was a whole bunch of P3s right below them. Okay, not a whole bunch, but some. And so I was surprised. They didn't even get out of the region, did they?
She lost her top two players, right? In the portal.
You say what?
Florida State lost their top two players to the portal, right?
This year?
Yeah.
Didn't hear that.
Yep. They lost their best two
Wait a
players.
minute.
The shortstop's
Wait a
gone.
minute.
The shortstop's out.
No.
I know. I can't believe it.
Oh
She's
no.
such a good player. And
She
another
is.
one
She
left a week
is.
ago.
She's the best player I saw all year.
She's the
I
best
mean,
player. In my
literally,
opinion,
everything about her.
if I'm starting a softball team,
Yeah.
after I got my pitching, she's my first player. I'm taking her. That kid is legit.
I'll
I know
bet you she's
that's
probably
that's
going to
tough.
be the second
See,
million dollar
some of these transfers,
player.
like Tori Edwards leaving like LSU, and I can't think of the girl's name from Florida State. Some of these transfers are just like she left. Damn,
It's got to be
it
this.
has to be the money, but I don't care. It's gotta hurt though.
Oh God, it has to.
It hurts.
As a coach, you pour your heart and soul and sweat and blood, and then if if that if that money takes a kid away, that hurts.
Yeah,
It would hurt
exactly.
me.
So
Yeah.
my heart goes out to when you lose a piece like that, a player like that,
Mm,
and everybody got to do what they got to do. But that's tough. But I was gonna
yeah.
say like I forgot you asked me the question before that, and I wasn't really done with the answer. Um,
Oh well, hey, there was not an ACC team in the World Series this year,
I thought Duke was gonna go to the World Series. I really did. Because you know why?
you
Because
know,
they're a hard team to beat. They're always a hard team to beat. Marissa Young is never going to be outcoached,
right? Let's go
right?
all the way back
And
to where we started though.
yeah,
They had one pitcher. They
who
they didn't have two or three or four that were going to be able to carry the load, and I think Duke probably hit as well as anybody did this year.
Duke played good
You
softball this
know,
year.
but
They
they
played good
just
softball.
they
I mean,
didn't
I didn't
quite.
count them out. I didn't count them out. I thought that they would be the one team in the ACC that was going to go. to the World Series
Hmm.
when I did my preseason like stuff, and I don't understand what happened with um, Oklahoma. I thought they would be in the World Series. I thought they would be. I didn't think they were going to win it, but I did think they would be in the World Series and possibly the finals.
Yeah.
I did think that. And in the final, and then in the series, the final season, the final series, I thought Texas Tech was going to win the whole thing, because you know what? Their energy from the first pitch to the last pitch of every game has been unmatched. The energy they bring, the swag, the confidence that they bring. It's just like incredible. That comeback they had when they were down, there was 2 outs,
Oh,
nobody on.
down by
That was one
seven or eight
down
runs.
by
How many
seven,
was that?
down by seven.
Yeah,
Like has that ever been done ever?
I don't remember it. That was
That was one of the most. That was the most. That was one of the
pretty
best
amazing.
comebacks. That was one of the best comebacks I've ever seen in sports history. Forget about softball, sports.
Yeah.
That was this was one for the. This was a good World Series. But again, offensively, clap clap clap. You guys, for pitching, we got to do better. And that's a direct reflection on all the pitching coaches across the country that are working with these young kids. That's a reflection on us as instructors in the private sector really not getting it done.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
We have to do
Yep.
better in the private sector,
Yep.
because a lot of
Yep.
times what's happening with pitching coaches, and that I'm noticing, is that you're teaching people how to pitch on the turf in the cage, and you're like, that's a great pitch. But if you don't go see that kid in the game enough times and watch enough game film, you don't know that they're getting smoked in the game, or they can't throw strike one, and they're falling behind, or they don't have an out pitch. These
Yeah.
kids are getting 2 strikes and giving up home runs. They don't have an out pitch. So we got to teach the game more than we teach the philosophy of the game.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I
I
got my
don't know if
certification.
I've ever gone and watched one of my kids pitch in a game and not come back and have a list of, oh my God, we still got to work on this and this and this,
Yeah,
because it's not showing up in the game. It's
yeah.
it's showing up here in the bullpen, and like you said,
But there's no
on the
batter in
turf.
there. There's no batter.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that,
There's no substitute for game time for
yeah.
either
So
learning or for us to watch and see what needs to be learned yet.
and I think that's I would say that would be a game changer for private sector coaches to become more connected to the in-game information, the in-game video, to get more context about what's going on. So when they do come in, we know how to, if we have the ability to do it. Because I think you're coaching philosophy sometimes. People are coaching the philosophy of it. Well, I have a certification in biomechanics and I understand how the body moves, and that has nothing to do with you getting somebody out.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I love it.
you got to get somebody out, dude. You got to get outs.
I get a lot of game changer stuff sent to me, and with the kid stats, and the first one of the first things I'm looking at is what percent strikes did you throw? And when I see a kid up around 70%, I'm thinking pretty good. And then my brain goes right to how many of those were down the middle.
I'll say this, Rick, and this is coming from a hitting coach to a pitching coach. If
Yeah,
pitchers, and I talk to our pitchers all the time, and I just got finished telling them, I said, you got to have multiple ways to get strike one. And if you don't get strike one, great. You got to get strike. You got to get the next one as a strike. You ain't going 2-0. You
yeah,
go 2-0. The batter's batting average just went up like 200 points. And then you gotta have multiple ways to get strike three. You gotta have at least 2 ways to get strike three. Like when you get 2 strikes, it should be like, she's freaking done. I got 2 strikes on her. She's freaking done. What's that pitch? And then after you have that pitch, what's the other pitch that when you have 2 strikes? And these kids can't answer that question. My kids, and I got 2 ACC. Yeah, we have 2 ACC pitchers on our staff. They can't answer that question. You gotta answer that question. Two strikes, it's a wrap. Goodbye. Go sit down. What does that pitch look like? And most of them can't answer it.
Well, I would say you obviously had a good pitch to get strike one and strike two. That's probably one of your good go-to things right there. Whatever got you strike one and strike two, one of those two pitches ought to be strike three.
There it is.
Because I don't think you're going to get somebody out real often with your number three or four pitch.
Is getting strike three the mental block?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that the mental block?
I do. I hear that a lot. I do. I hear a lot. My
you
kid gets a 0-2 count and just can't finish him off.
And that could be a mental block, and that could be something too that the kids have to learn how to work through. So I think those are some of the things that I'd like to, and I'd like to see better across the board on the mental side of the pitching game.
What?
Just being able to close, being able to finish, and that was and that was the problem the whole college season. People couldn't finish, dude. Pitchers couldn't finish. They didn't have the mental capacity, the emotional capacity to finish. And then most people didn't know how to show up consistently.
Yeah.
So people would show up
I've got one person stuck into my vision, into my brain. That just is the opposite of what you just said. Mm-hmm. The final 6 outs of the College World Series, 5 strikeouts out of 6. Kavan. The kid was ready to pitch when it was her time to shine. Somewhere, I don't know what it took. She dug as deep as she could dig, but boy, I tell you what, the kid was on fire.
You could say that from your perspective. She came in ready to pitch, but I could say that those hitters were not ready to hit. They were done. They were checked out.
Well, you know what?
I can say that. I mean, because there's two sides of it.
I think 3 of them took strike 3.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
how do you do that? What's wrong with you hitting coach?
How do you know? It's no. We have a problem with people showing up in certain situations. So it might look like that pitcher showed up because those hitters didn't show up.
Yeah.
Well, and you said it might look like those hitters showed up because the pitcher didn't show up.
What happened to Oklahoma? One game Oklahoma's hitters didn't show up, and Mississippi State's pitcher showed up. That's on any given day.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. But once upon a time, you kind of knew who was going to show up. It was never a question. For people out there who gamble, don't bet on softball. You're crazy. I don't gamble, but if you gamble, you bet.
Yeah, softball. That'd be the last one you bet on.
You got a better shot. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Just the odds go right out the window.
I know you got to go. This podcast has been. It was good. I've been dying to have this conversation with you because I'm like, I got to talk to Rick. We got to talk about this. I watched it like, I can't wait to talk to Rick. But this has been a good one. So I know you got to go, and so do I. But any final thoughts?
Final thought. Wow. I can't wait until next year at this time because I know we're going to do this again. But I hope we can have a super region World Series like we had this year. I felt it was so good. I mean, my wife was at the TV just making comment after comment. I'm thinking, holy mackerel, this has got to be a good series. She was enjoying it as much as I was.
I mean, with all the drama surrounding the game, it was really good for the casual fan.
Oh yeah,
to kind of get captivated and intrigued by the stories and the subplots.
Yeah.
But the messiness has always been known in the intimate softball world because you hear about the messiness. You get a text, you get a little screenshot. So we all knew about the messiness, but this was one of the first seasons where the ESPN production team brought the messiness to the fans to boost the ratings. So shout out to you, ESPN. You guys know how to make a buck. You guys know how to hustle. You guys know how to hustle and get that money. Great job, ESPN.
Yeah.
But it was really good. You got anything new going on that anybody might want to sign up for?
What's that?
You have any new things? Any new courses that anybody might want to sign up for? I know you have your certification. What else you got going on that somebody might want to sign up for?
No, I think I've said this before. I'm working on something. I was just kind of dabbling in it last night and today, or yesterday morning and today, because I had a picture that really got me thinking again about the whole pulsing. How you get that nervous system to turn on and fire the muscles and turn it off and on and off really fast at the right time. So I've probably said this on 3 other podcasts too. Is there is really something in there, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, have enough time to dig in as deep as I want to really publish something that I'm 100% certain of. Sort of certain, but I'm not 100%. So I'm holding off on it.
All right.
It's important.
Keep me
Okay.
posted. Hopefully,
I will.
hopefully I could be the guy that breaks it. I want to be the guy. I want this podcast to be where you break it and where we make the announcement.
Let's do it. When I'm ready, I'm going to call you up. Let's do a podcast. We're
Let me
going to do
know.
one. How about the end of travel ball season? How's that this year? Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know how travel ball went. Oof.
Yep. Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Hey,
Well,
great talking, man,
hey,
and enjoy.
always,
See
as
you.
always, we'll talk soon.
Yep. Bye.